Hi again. Happy Monday. My hair is wet and it is 80 degrees outside. I said last week my apartment doesn't have AC, so I'm a little bit miserable in there today, but I'm really happy it's so sunny out. I am going to send out some letters and stickers to some local unions. We'll be planning some more volunteer opportunities and coordination with Kim. I also have a fundraising deadline by the end of this week, so I will be doing a lot more fundraising calls to get that number as high as we can. This is a small dollar campaign. That's what the best campaigns are. They're people funded. You guys are so good. And the volunteers that we have, it's just, we're getting people excited about a state rep race. And I think that's pretty exciting. I thought I would share with you this mess that I have. I am crying. It's just from the onions. I didn't really cook at all last week. I was just booked. I really enjoy cooking and baking, but obviously I'm not great about always making the time to do that. This is a pretty typical meal for me. I'm making like a healthier budget burrito bowl. So I've got some steamed white rice in there. I'm sauteing some peppers and onions. I'm gonna add some of these Beyond Meat beef crumbles. I do not eat beef. As you can tell, still hitting that coffee. You don't have to judge me because I already judged myself enough. But anyway, these add a lot of protein. Good old plant protein. In these peppers and onions, I've already added some cumin, salt and pepper, cayenne, and then some tahini. And then I've got some black beans warming up over here. Then I put it on top of some kale. A tip, if you want to eat raw kale, I drizzle it with a little bit of olive oil and salt, and then I press it down like this. I don't know how to explain it, but it makes the kale more tender. I read somewhere that this is what restaurants do when they serve you kale. So I have that and then some fresh cilantro in there. I'll put fresh tomato on top. In a better world, I would have some fresh avocado to put on top too, but I do not have any. Then plain Greek yogurt that I mixed with Cholula. Cholula is the greatest hot sauce. Pretty much I just put hummus on anything. And that is that. So we have quite the ambitious bowl here. Hi everyone.
Hey.
It is Tuesday around 11. I just went for a run, which was horrible because it's so hot outside. I started running in February. I'm getting better at it, and I have gotten to the point where I enjoy it. It's just hard to do it consistently, finding the balance between getting the work done for this campaign, eating healthy, exercising, working 2 jobs. It's just, it's a lot to juggle. Today I am ordering some canvas bags. I don't think I'm into the idea of t-shirts. I don't know what it is. I just feel like they're not as functional. I go into Starbucks today at 2:45, so from now till then, I'll be making more phone calls, like always. Today, I've got a call with Alaina Swope, who's running for Congress in the 12th district, which overlaps with some of my district, not all of it. Districts are very confusing. We should talk about that for a second. You have a federal, U.S. congressional district, a U.S. Senate district. Those are separate. These are all separate. Then you have a state house district, which is my district. It's the 97th, which is Muskingum and Guernsey counties. It's most of Muskingum County. It cuts out at the southern end. And then you have a state senate district. Those are 4 separate districts that we're just expecting voters to know. It's a lot to ask, and I think there needs to be a lot more effort put forth to help voters understand the differences and the differences in candidates. So I'll be talking with Alaina Swope about planning a Facebook rally. I'll be talking with another candidate who's running for state representative in a different district about doing a pride rally for June with him. Then I'll be calling my campaign manager, Grant. I need to finish the questionnaire for endorsement for Planned Parenthood, and there are a few other. There's so many. I'm reading this book. I'm a little bit obsessed with studying economics. My undergraduate degree is in psychology, but I took this class my senior year. It was called The Political Economy of Women. It's a kind of economics that's called heterodox economics or radical feminist economics. A lot of really amazing, interesting work is being done studying the field of economics and what they're leaving out, like unpaid labor, undervalued labor, a lot of which is done by women and minorities. So spent some time reading this morning, which is always nice. It is so hot. It's hard. Good morning. It is Wednesday around 9:30. I am enjoying a cup of tea. Thankfully today there's a bit more relief from the weather. It's much cooler today. I taught my classes this morning and then made a couple calls. I'll jump on another Zoom call. There's a training. The National Democratic Training Committee has some really awesome trainings, and there's one today. It's a workshop on using peer-to-peer texting. So they have really comprehensive trainings. I've gone in and out of a lot of these. It's a course that is free to candidates. So if you're a candidate and don't know about this, you gotta check it out. I'm also working on writing an email. Our stickers came in like I showed you in the last one, and so we started pushing that as a fundraising strategy. So you donate $5, get a sticker. We've sold quite a bit so far, which is, it's so cool. I'm also working on updating my platform. Something that I'm going to propose is starting some type of Green New Deal caucus in the State House. The Green New Deal is, I can't understand why anyone wouldn't be pro Green New Deal, because one of my main platform tenets is economic growth. We desperately need higher paying jobs. We need more skills training. We need to pay people more. The Green New Deal, so climate change is an existential threat. Our response to the coronavirus is and continues to be inadequate. 100,000 plus Americans have died horrifically because of inaction from our presidential administration, but also our systems are not built to handle a crisis like this. The coronavirus is one thing. Dealing with the threat that is climate change within the next 10 years is going to be completely different. So a Green New Deal, what that does is it creates jobs that lower the global carbon output. And that is necessary. And there are a lot of things you can do at a state level. I think when people think Green New Deal, they think federal government, but Ohio as a state can pass Green New Deal legislation. That's why I want to create this caucus, so I can team up with other legislators so we can pass green energy legislation. We can bring more solar energy, more wind energy, more thermal energy to the state of Ohio and create those jobs within Ohio. What I'll spend most of tomorrow doing is fundraising, because again, we want to get that number as high as possible. So fundraising is very hard. We can talk about that. I have a lot to say about it. Another part of my platform that we're working on developing is tangible proposals for campaign finance reform. For the most part, to be a successful candidate in this system, you have to be independently wealthy, or you have to have the ability to quit your job and be supported by someone else. It can be done outside of that, but it's very difficult. It is very difficult to continue to work a full-time job to support yourself. No one else is going to be supporting me. It's just me here. But there are ways to make that a lot easier. Campaign finance reform is a lot about banning lobbying. Lobbying should not exist in our political system. People who are lobbyists for corporations and big donors and dark PACs, because they give candidates, including my opponent, so much money, they have the representation. A campaign like mine, where I'm only taking money from individual donors, I'm not taking corporate donations, but those are smaller dollar donations. That is the better way to go, but that means I will have less money than my opponent because I have made that pledge. Because I don't think it's right. It's not right for a corporation to donate $13,000 to a state house candidate, because that corporation ends up getting their representation. And everyday people who it's your job to represent, like in your district, those are the people funding my campaign. A lot needs to change with our campaign finance system. Hello, it is around 1, I think, on Thursday. Today, I've spent some time cleaning, ran a couple errands, but now I'll be in and out of phone calls until like 9 p.m. tonight. But between those things, I've kind of set up a a questionnaire mapping and planning and fundraising blitz. I need to make a list of all the questionnaires I want to fill out, and I'm gonna use one of my trusty whiteboards over here.
We should amend that. I pull the sheets back. It's 40 degrees and I feel like I'm dying. Life's getting hard in here, so I...
Hello from my couch. It is actually Monday morning. I didn't vlog for the past couple days for a couple reasons. I spent pretty much all day Saturday at protesting the murder of George Floyd, but also just protesting police brutality at large and every other black person that has been murdered by police with no justice, like Breonna Taylor. Saturday morning, I drove up to Columbus to join a peaceful protest at the State House. There were thousands of people there. We marched around the State House a couple times, and then the cops showed up and just started spraying us repeatedly to get us off the sidewalk onto the streets, which we were avoiding. They split up the group by doing that, and then they kept spraying us, and the group that I was in got pushed more toward a corner of, we were on a sidewalk, and we were recovering from this pepper spray, and then we're like kind of huddled in a corner. We're all helping each other, pouring, baking soda and water or milk on each other, and, offering that sense of community that I love to see at protests. But we were doing that, and about 8 Columbus PD officers come barreling through on Clydesdales, trying to trample us on the sidewalk, and then they sprayed us some more. I'm not going to include any footage from that protest because when they get dangerous like that, it's important to protect everyone's identity, and it's irresponsible to post videos from protests because some cops sit and look through videos posted online to bring charges against innocent protesters. So I'm not going to post that, but what I will include footage from, after I came back to Zanesville from Columbus, and some incredible organizers named Melissa Dickinson and Kyle Johnson planned a peaceful demonstration in downtown Zanesville, and the newspaper estimated like 500 people came to it. I get emotional just thinking about it because I'm no stranger to protests, but being able to be a part of one in my hometown and march with like 500 people loudly chanting Black Lives Matter is something that I will never forget for my entire life. It got amazing coverage. The media wrote really good stories about it. They kept the highlight on Kyle and Melissa, the Zanesville think tank on poverty. We're kind of taking this momentum and pushing it toward action, what we can do with this momentum. I'm excited to see what can happen in Zanesville because people do care. There's this narrative that people in this area are apathetic and they don't care. But if we learned anything from the demonstration on Saturday, it's that people do care. We just need to give them an outlet to care, to organize, and this is an exciting time for Zanesville. I'm really proud to be from Zanesville today. I'm going to end the vlog here. I'll put in some footage from the demonstration in Zanesville, and I'll edit and post soon, hopefully, and then I will start this week's vlog officially that you will see next week. Thank you all for watching, and I will check in later.
Phoebe Anastasia.
South Point, the killing, the slaughtering of George Floyd. Today we come together as a community, as a people, as a family, to stand up against gun violence and police brutality in America